Welcome back to Patrick Christie's Tonight. Have the supermarkets just sunk Labour? It's time now for our head-to-head. So, the Co-op have this afternoon joined Asda, Morrison's, Boots, Lidl and Aldi in calling on the government to reconsider its changes to inheritance tax for farmers. Tesco, Britain's biggest supermarket, has also promised to fight for the farmers, as their chief commercial officer warned that this is not just a debate about individual policies. The UK's future food security is at stake. So they've savaged it, haven't they? Let's not forget, British farms produce around 60% of our food, including most of the cereals, meat, dairy and eggs that we eat. Ministers have insisted that the tax changes will only affect a small group of farmers, but as the giants of the UK food industry have echoed widespread public anger and are united with the National Farmers Union to publicly reject these claims. We have to ask, is Labour's inheritance tax now completely untenable? I'm joined now by the External Affairs Director at the Countryside Alliance, Mo Metcalf Fisher, and political commentator Alex Cairns. Thank you very much, both of you. Great to have you on. Mo, I'll start with you. Have the supermarkets just sunk Labour's farmers' inheritance tax plans?
It should do. The multiple polls from the public, the huge response and outcry from the countryside, the mountain of opposition from the opposition in Parliament should have been enough to sink it. But still, Rachel Reeves and the Treasury, they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear from the experts. But hopefully now, with this mountain, an army of supermarkets coming and siding with farmers in this row, we can hopefully move forward and find a way out of this mess. Look, we don't want this row. Farmers don't want this row. They want to be out there producing food for us and maintaining our environment. They don't want to be out on the streets protesting and writing letters to MPs. This is a problem that Rachel Reeves and the Treasury have started, and it's one they've got to finish and put right.
So, look, Alex, farmers are wrong. Tesco's, Aldi, Lidl, they're all wrong. The British public are wrong, but Rachel from accounts is right. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I mean, let's put this into the context, right? The supermarkets are, of course, going to be backing farmers because we know that obviously they are kind of hand in hand in business, right? You know, lots of farms, you know, Waitrose have their own farm, for example. The rest of the supermarkets are either investors or have very close business relationships. So it'd be very bizarre if the supermarkets wouldn't come on board. And you're talking about the public. There's actually no evidence to suggest that. Every single poll I've seen suggests that people are massively supporting the farmers. Let's remember, 25% of farms are going to be affected by this. Even worst case scenarios I've seen is about a third, right? This is really coming down to money. And actually, let's think about who owns most of the farms and estates in this country. 30% are aristocrats. 30% are corporate or private investors. So we're talking about, poor, the small farmer. Majority of them are being handed down from hereditary peers. Lots of them are owned by private investors, and lots of them are owned by people that don't want to pay inheritance tax. Why should people that work hard for their first, second property that have to pay inheritance tax have to pay it, and farmers are exempt? It's a double standards, and Labour have finally put an end to it.
I'll just a couple of points to correct there. Polls, 58% of the British public back a farmers' protest, only 13% don't, and more than half of the public, 55% to be precise, would support farmers if they decided to actually go on strike. But Mo, do you want to come back to what Alex was saying there about this idea that actually, of course, the big supermarkets, because that's today's development, of course the big supermarkets would go into bat for the farmers because, well, they're in business with them. This is not an accurate representation of what's right.
Yeah, no, supermarkets understand the food chain, and they probably understand it, I dare say, a little bit better than your person that you've had on here this evening. I mean, look, Alex, it's not easy spinning for the government. You're probably one of the only people that are out there trying to defend this ghastly policy. You know, as I've said, and as Patrick pointed out, it's actually Labour voters as well who are against this policy. So, you know, rather than dig your heels in, I think it's just best that we get the rural experts like the National Farmers Union, the CLA, Countryside Alliance, around the table to find a way out of this mess. This is a really ugly look for the Labour Party. It looks like it's completely out of touch. It looks like they're picking on farmers. You could almost hear in Alex's voice this kind of hatred towards farmers, and it's so disappointing to hear that. I talk to farmers on a daily basis. I hear the pain in their voices, and with all due respect, Alex, you're wrong on this one. Labour, the Treasury, they need to rethink this policy now.
Well, Alex, I'll let you come back to that. I will say that apparently the OBR has come out and said that basically the inheritance tax on farmers will raise just £500 million and is unlikely to reach a steady rate for at least 20 years. So it doesn't actually make financial sense, does it?
Well, okay, so let's think about what's happening here, right? This is not going to be a corporation tax or a VAT specifically for farms or for the farming sector. This is about M&A activity, right? This is about when people come to sell, what is a fair process where for a long time, people have used this loophole to basically buy private land, farming land, where lots of it will never actually be used for farming, right? We know that. And also, when it comes to the situation, the policy we're talking about, it's actually going to be a 10-year interest-free kind of payment plan. So it's not like they're going to go out of business, right? And this change comes in April 2026. So I politely say back to your other guest that he thinks that I'm wrong. Actually, I would say that he's wrong. And of course, the NFU, shock horror, they're going to support the farmers because that's their job. I mean, the idea that they're going to come out and suddenly say the farmers are not correct. I mean, I just don't understand why constantly people are acting like all the farmers are going to go out of business. It's just nonsense.
Okay, Mo?
Again, you can just hear the anger in the voice. I don't understand what Alex has got against farmers. Please, come and talk to us. I can introduce you to some farmers that are going to get seriously hurt by this policy. I was speaking to
some hereditary
farmers.
peers?
I was speaking.
No,
Alex.
Let's drill on that. No, good. Let's drill down on that, guys. Right? Okay. So Mo, is Alex right when he's saying that? And I think the quote was that most of these people are hereditary peers.
Yeah, well, Alex, with all due respect, let's go out and meet some family farmers. Let's go out and meet them. I can tell you about the pain that they're going through. Let them tell you about it too. You know, older farmers over the age of 80 who were told to stay alive are now being told that if they want to pass it down, if they live beyond April 2026, that their kids are going to have to break up that farm to pay this horrendous tax. This is horrendous. Look, please, let's not get angry. Let's not deliberately try and make this political. Let's get people round the table and find a way forward. This is about our food security, Alex. I hope you've had dinner tonight. It was probably made by British farmers or probably brought to you by British farmers. Let's keep it going, okay? Because this risks our national food security.
So Alex, are Tesco's lying when they say that this is going to affect food security in Britain? Are they lying?
No, they're not lying, but naturally, they've got an invested interest in it.
But that's what it is, though, isn't it, mate? Sorry, but it either is going to affect our food security or it isn't. Tesco's are saying it is. You're saying they're telling the truth. So why do it then? It's madness, isn't it?
No, it's not madness. It will affect our food security if suddenly 40% of farms all decide to be sold or handed down to that next generation. It's not going to suddenly happen. That's like saying, okay, would 30% of homes all be sold in the same year? So the inheritance tax would hit all of those private investors that have those private tenants. No, it's not going to happen, right? I just don't understand where this whole Cry Me a River situation comes from, where all of the farms, I'll come and meet your farmers. You come and meet small business owners. There's £500 that can go to the school building project where 2,000 schools are about to be, they're in derelict, awful conditions. The whole country needs rebuilding. I'm not going to sit here and think that poor farmers, because the whole country
guys, all I'll say to draw a line of this is I can smell a Channel 5 6-part series of Mo and Alex on the farm, and I think this is going to be a fantastic thing. So look, guys, well done, thank you. We wanted a head-to-head, we definitely got one. So that is Mo Metcalf Fisher there, the External Affairs at the Countryside Alliance, and political commentator Alex Cairns. Coming up,